Hey, everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Chingazos Combat Crew, your one stop shop for all your combat news. That's MMA, BJJ, boxing, and all kinds of other pendejadas. I got my boy Fonzo on. Fonzo, how you doing, bro?
It's great, man. Fucking tired as hell, sore as hell. Just fucking finished yesterday working out in the yard. So today, Sunday fun day. We get to relax, have a drink, talk about some good ass fights and combat news, man.
Man,
How
that's
about
what I'm
you?
talking about. I'm doing a fantastic week. Lots of fights, lots of stuff to catch up on from this past week. But when this show hits the ground running, everyone, it's going to be Monday morning. So everyone's probably at work right now. Like I said in the past, hey, tell your boss to take a chill pill, turn this speaker up right now, and let everybody in the crew listen to this episode because we're about to take you away for about an hour or so. Combat news. Let's kick it off. You ready, Fonzo?
Let's go.
All right, here we go. As you all know out there, it is June. And what does that mean? It's Pride Month. Everybody's been celebrating Pride. Cousin Ann thought it'd be a great idea to jump on that bandwagon as well and celebrate Pride Month too. Pride Fighting Championships, that is. So we're going to be talking about that. Our favorite MMA website out there, SureDog, came up with their top 10 Pride Fighting Championship fights. So we're going to talk about that in a bit. But before we get into that, dude, last night there was a little bit of boxing. I've been kind of on boxing's nuts lately just because they've been putting out some really good fights. And last night was another one of those good fights. And it was your boy Teofimo Lopez taking on Josh Taylor for, I believe, the WBO Junior Welterweight Championship, my man. That's like one of 120 belts that they got over in boxing. That's one thing I
Dude, we
really
gotta
don't like about
we
that.
gotta do a video on that, on explaining their belt system and all the different promotions and shit, because it gets fucking complicated as hell.
It does. It does. There's so many, man. There's so many. It's almost like how back in the day WWF used to have the heavyweight champion of the world and the intercontinental champion of the world and the
Yeah.
tag team champions and whatever. But hey, back to this fight, dude. So it ended up going 12 rounds. It was a pretty, I didn't get to watch it, but I did see some highlights. I did see the scorecards. I did read a lot of people's blogs this morning on how the fight went down. And if you were to just look at the scorecards on this, Fonzo, you would think that it was a lot closer than it really was. But apparently it was not because Teofimo outstruck Josh Taylor a total of 158 strikes to 82, my man.
Damn.
That's almost a 2-to-1 ratio of outstriking proportion.
Shit.
So let's look over the three judges' scorecards. I don't know the names of the judges. Oh, actually, I'm lying. I do. Judge Steve Ray scored it 113, 115 for Teofimo. Judge Joseph Pasquale scored it also 113, 115 for Teofimo. And Judge Benoit Roussel scored it 117, 111. Now, they got the decision right. Everyone agrees with that. However, dude, check this out. If you break these judges' scorecards down, especially the first two, Stevie Ray and Joseph Pasquale, if they both were to have scored the round for Josh Taylor instead of for Teofimo, dude, their scorecards would have ended 114, 114. So we would have
Damn.
had not one judge, but two judges scoring it exactly the same, and it would have ended in a majority draw. And Teofimo would have just taken the draw, and Josh Taylor would have taken the belt home.
Fuck.
Luckily, ironically, I don't know, dumb luck, maybe they got it right. So, but dude, imagine if they wouldn't have got it. This would have just been another one. Oh, boxing's corrupt and they don't know what they're doing and this and that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Yeah.
awful.
Fuck, man. Well, and so I mean, I didn't get to watch the fight, so I don't know. I'll have to go back and find it and watch it. But if he was outstruck like almost 2-1, why did it seem so close in the judges' scorecards? Do you know, or what were people saying about it?
I don't know, man. Like a lot of people were like, "What were these guys watching?"
Because 111 to 117 is a lot. That's a huge difference from 113, 115.
Right? It's
You
not
know what I
even
mean?
close.
No.
Yeah.
So, You know what I mean? If you're outstruck to almost 2-1, I would expect the scorecards to be more like the third judge.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's interesting, man. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I mean, I'm glad they got it right. But yeah, this is the kind of shit we're scoring, and we'll talk about this later because well, forget about it. I'll bring it up when we get to that point.
Good call. We'll save the rest. All right, next story, dude. This is kind of funny. This is another podcast. This is our boy Craig Jones's El Segundo podcast. I finally listened to an episode after all kinds of crazy talk on Reddit that I'm not going to talk about. I'll let you guys go look for that. But there was 2 cool clips that I got from this video or from this episode. And one of them, I'm not sure if all you out there listening or watching, whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, or you're watching us on YouTube. Craig Jones came out with this new t-shirt. I don't know if it's a rash guard and no-gi shorts setup, but he definitely came out with the t-shirt, and it's called, and it just says "Keep Jiu-Jitsu Gay," and it's just a joke, nothing major. If you guys don't know who Craig Jones is, he's just a clown, but he's an awesome jiu-jitsu black belt, high level jiu-jitero. But yeah, check out. You might want to hear that bit where he starts talking about his shirt, and he goes into some things that people were saying about the shirt, I guess. So yeah, that's kind of funny. But one of the main things I got out of this was, I don't know if you heard about this, Fonzo, but Hisam Rida, ADCC black belt veteran, no-gi world champ, just a beast of a man, ended up seeing someone trying to break into his car and stealing his stuff. So how do you think that went down, my man?
Not good for the dude who's trying it.
Exactly. So let's check out this little Instagram video here. I don't have it queued up, but it's coming up.
Initially, like, he tried to choose my stuff and I just swept him.
Damn, that dude's gasping.
Hisam comes in like a fucking wrecking ball, bro. Waking me up like, yo, Hisam was some guy in, trying to open your door and going through your car and shit like that. So we checked the camera, like, I saw that, I took off. So I chased him, and when I got close, I'm like, where you going with my stuff? This guy had my fanny pack, my Supreme fanny pack with like my passport, debit card.
The Supreme fanny pack.
A very expensive Kobe rookie card in there. I foot swept him. He fell to the canvas. He kept still trying to move, trying to escape. So I really got choked him from behind. When the cops got there, I told them my story, and he made it look way worse than he was. He pretended like he was unconscious and all that stuff, but he was playing games. The cops know that they deal with guys like that all the time. So
I was pulling up in an Uber back here. I was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on?
Jackson was fucking pissed. But he doesn't have any serious injuries or anything, so don't feel guilty about something, okay? He said you did what you had to do to protect your property.
So Hisam Rida putting it down on some pendejo out there trying to break into the wrong car. So it looks like he foot swept the crap out of him, held him down until he showed up. They said that he didn't hurt him seriously. There's no long-lasting injuries there. So looks like he won't be able to press any charges on Hisam. But yeah, that's what happens, man. Good thing.
Like I said, man, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yes. Speaking of prizes, my man, excellent segue, dude. Excellent segue. UFC Fight Pass Invitational Part number 4 coming up at the end of this month, June 29th. That will be a Thursday. They've announced every single participant in the Absolute Tournament. Those are, I'm just reading them at random order: Hisam Rida, Big Dan Manasau, Felipe Andrew, Wagner Rocha, Gabriel Arges, Fedor Nikolov, Nicky Rodriguez, and Pedro Rocha. So those are the participants in the Absolute Tournament. But Dana White went on Instagram last week and announced a couple more.
UFC Fight Pass Invitational is back. You can stream it live on UFC Fight Pass on June 29th. The main event is between two of the best jiu-jitsu artists in the world, Felipe Pena versus Craig Jones. Plus, the co-main event, former UFC champion Glover Teixeira takes on Anthony Smith. And now, the entire main card is set with 2 more big-time matchups to announce. Nick Miragali versus Cyborg Abreu. And Penn State wrestling phenom and two-time NCAA champion
Local boy.
Roman Bravo
Alex
Young
Perez.
makes his grappling debut against the number 6 UFC flyweight Alex Perez. And last but not least, we just finalized the absolute tournament bracket, including Nicky Rod, Big Dan Manitou, and many more. The winner of the tournament will take home a $30,000 grand prize. The best grapplers in the world are at the Fight Pass Invitational live Thursday, June 29th.
Whatever, Dana. But yeah, dude, I'm psyched. I was already pumped for the tournament as it was, but that seeing Nicholas Marigali Nogi, dude, he's the gi goat. Everyone he gets into a match with, he submits. But he's been dabbling in Nogi since last year at ADCC, and he wants to continue that run. So
how do you think he'll fare?
Oh, he's gonna sub him, dude. He's definitely gonna sub Cyborg for sure.
All right.
So it should be an interesting match, man. Should be fun to watch. I cannot wait. And this absolute tournament, dude. My favorite to win this, I would say, man, I want to see Nicky Rod and Felipe Andrew, dude. I think Hisam is kind of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, because you never know which version of him is going to show up. If it's him at his best, watch out. Big Dan Manitou, dude, that is Gordon Ryan's little brother if he was Frankenstein. He's got crazy strength. He's got no facial expressions, but he's a sick-ass jiu-jitero. Felipe Andrew just won World Jiu-Jitsu Championships for IBJJF in the gi, so he's ready to dip his toes in the no-gi realm. It's no-gi season now, so yeah. Wagner Rocha, he always comes to bring it, and Nicky Rod, that B-team veteran, training with Craig Jones, he's always going to bring it, dude. So, yeah, this is going to be a good night of jiu-jitsu, and it's a Thursday night, you know what I mean? So it's a good way to end the week. Baby Friday, bros. Baby Friday. All right. Let's talk about some UFC now. So earlier, actually, when was this Amir Albazi fight with KKF? Was that last week or the week before?
I don't know if we had a fight last week. It was a week before, I think.
It
was last week. Yeah, June.
Was it? Okay, so it was last week. Amir ends up winning. Controversial decision. We didn't really talk too much about it, but hey, you know what? It was a close fight, but it wasn't that close. I kind of thought KKF should have won, honestly, but Amir got closer to actually ending the fight in that third round. I don't know if that's what weighed more in the judges' minds, and maybe that's why they gave him the decision. But hey, no, that's neither here nor there, like they like to say a lot, right, Fonzo?
Right.
So it's a done deal. He won the fight, and because he won that fight, he got moved up into the rankings. So he moved up from number 4 to number 3, and he jumped. Or what happened?
He jumped up 4 spaces. Dude.
Oh, he jumped up 4 spots.
Yeah,
okay.
he was at number 7. Yeah.
Okay, so he was at 7, jumped all the way up to 3, and he ended up bumping. Did he bump? Oh no, he didn't bump down Raw Dog, but he jumped over Raw Dog.
Yeah, because Kai Kara-France was number 3.
Yes.
So he took his spot. And then KKF ended up dropping 2 spots.
What do you think about that? You think that that's appropriate?
No, I think it's a little bit too far, man. Like because look, like what? He's like 3rd in line now for the championship fight. Yeah, it's for title shot. I mean, and then you got Alexander Pantoja fighting Brandon Moreno next. So that means what? Like, then Amir might fight Figueiredo for a shot at the contendership.
Man, that's weird. And why is Figgy still way up there? I
don't
know. But he I guess he did just last fight. His last fight was for the strap, so he should be up there. I kind of wish they would have put Brandon up at number 3 just because he won more decidingly. You know what I mean? Or actually not. I don't know. Like, because you can't keep KKF at number 3 because he lost. But I honestly don't feel that win should have awarded Amir a force shot uprooting to the top of the ranking.
Right. No, I don't think so either. I think maybe KKF would have dropped 1, and then Brandon and him would have switched spots, right?
Maybe.
And then
Or how about?
I was gonna say, and then just put what's the name? Amir right below Brandon. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have put Amir at 5, Brandon or I'm sorry, KKF at why? Because you can't really put KKF above Amir if he just lost to him, right?
Right.
So maybe KKF at 5, Amir at 4, and Brandon at 3.
There you go.
But it's kind of hard. I mean, who cares? I mean, the UFC does whatever the shit they want with their rankings anyways, but it's kind of hard. Like, how would you justify moving Brandon up when he hasn't fought, you know?
Right.
After his last one, he got moved up to number 4. So why should he move up to number 3 when he hasn't won? I don't know. It's UFC's problem, not ours. But hey, I would love to see a Brandon and Amir fight, and then that'll just settle.
That might be the next fight, because I don't think he should be that close to the title, at least not yet. He needs one more fight before he can. Yeah.
And you know that Raw Dog is the backup for next weekend for the next month's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So he's already next in line, according to Dana. All right, dude. All right. Earlier this week, Morning Combat with Luke Thomas came out with this awesome hot take on rules in MMA that need to be changed. And so I proposed this to the boys, and I was asking around, hey, if you could change one rule in MMA, what would it be? I think Fonzo came up with a handful of suggestions. I only came up with one. So why don't I go first and get mine out of the way?
Go ahead.
All right. So I was thinking, there's so many different things that we should change. Should we change the knees to down opponent? Should we allow 6 to 12 elbow strikes? Should we allow growing shots, fish hooks? No, I'm just kidding. None of that should be allowed. No. I think this one rule overall will solve a lot of problems. It won't solve all of them, but it will solve one of the most important, and that is bad decisions. Why do we keep having these bad decisions? Well, let's think about it. If this was a school, all right, and the students kept underperforming on exams, you keep not getting the results you want, whose fault would that be? At first, you would say, hey, that's the kid's fault. They need to study, right? But if it keeps happening year after year, time after time,
you got
to take a step back and look outside of the box and start looking at all the possibilities. And you're absolutely right. It could possibly be the teachers. You know what I mean? And in this case, it's not the judges. I'm talking about judges here. We need to change the judges because they're the ones that have the biggest impact after the fighters on the results of the fight. So how can we change that? I would like to see people that have more of an MMA mindset or more of an MMA background to be judges. Why are there people that have no idea what the shit they're watching being put in charge of something when the stakes are that high? Imagine me being put in charge of quality control on airlines, on flights, on planes that are carrying people. I don't know the first thing about flying. I don't know the first thing about airline mechanics or maintenance or anything, dude. So that would end horribly. And that's kind of what's happening right now. I wish that they would not allow anybody outside of our MMA world. So I'm talking about fighters here. So I'm talking about coaches. Just writers maybe even. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was like when Homer Simpson was asked to design that car for his brother in that episode. Remember? Came out with that stupid ass car.
Changed the entire industry around, but that's neither here nor there. My new favorite saying, bro. I'm gonna be. We're talking judges, Fonzo. We're talking judges. So yeah, dude. I just think that would end up all these dumb rules. I mean, not dumb rules, but dumb decisions. Wrong decisions. The wrong people holding the belts. The wrong people getting the W's. The wrong people advancing and moving forward and creating fights that we don't really want to see. That's my take, bro.
I agree, man.
Right. What do you got for us?
Man, a lot of that. Like that's one thing that I thought is changing the judging. But one thing that could help with that too is the 10-point must system, man. It works for boxing. I mean, sort of. We just seen it, right? Kind of works. I don't know, man. Judge it as a whole. You know what I mean? Find a different way to judge a fight. It's now round after round. I mean, you can still have rounds, right? You can make your notes on rounds, but you're not going to judge it based on just one round. Like each round doesn't have to have a set of awarded points. You award the points at the end of the fight. You can say round 1 this happened, round 2 this happened, round 3 this happened. But if somebody is like whooping ass, right, for the first part of the of like maybe the better half of 2 rounds, a better part of 2 rounds, but on the third round, the guy that was getting his ass kicked rallies, comes back, and ends up being like coming back on top. I would say the second guy won. Why? Because he was able to weather the storm and came back and whooped some ass. Now, it was kind of like playing rope-a-dope. So in that traditional 10 point must system, the second guy would have lost. In this type of system, hey man, you put it all out there. You blew your wad early on, and now you got your ass kicked.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I almost think like they should do like high school street fight judging, or as we call it now, Pride Fighting Championship judging, where whoever got closer to ending the fight wins, dog. Like, I don't care if you were holding him down for 13 minutes and 30 seconds. If your opponent came back and beat the brakes off of you for 90 seconds and you got lucky that the round ended, I say your boy won. I say second guy won, just like you said. I kind of like, I'm tired of these point fighters, dude. I'm tired of people scoring takedowns, not doing much. Or how about someone gets a takedown, they're on top, but they're escaping submission after submission because the guy on the bottom is just setting trap after trap after trap. To me, the guy on the bottom is the more dangerous fighter because he keeps getting closer to ending the fight, whereas the other guy, he's just trying to keep above water. He's trying to stay from drowning,
100%.
So, yeah, dude, good take, Fonzo. Good take.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Well, the other one is knees, man. Knees to downed opponents. That is a game changer. I think it's kind of bullshit, man. You can fucking elbow to the face when you're on the ground. Equally as devastating, I think. You know what I mean? Like it makes no sense to me why you can't do that. And a lot of fighters will end up like just, grounding themselves just to avoid it. Which I don't think is I don't like that. You know what I mean? It kind of slows down the action a little bit. It just, it's a game. So I think that would heavily change the way that MMA works, especially when put up against the cage, right? Because a lot of fighters will right now, like they'll use a cage to wall walk and to get back up. A lot of times that does leave them exposed if you were to allow knees to ground opponents. So you'd have to find different ways to get back up, which will change the game quite a bit. You know what I mean? So I think that's another change I would like to see. And then the other one that I've talked about, we get to see these boring ass fights where, nothing happens. Think about what's his name? Ngannou versus Derek Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like one of the things I really loved about Pride was their yellow cards, or their cards, right? Their penalties. Anytime you stall the action, things like that, you're just laying and praying, like that kind of shit. You need to bring that back. Some sort of penalty, right? Because
I like it.
Yeah, it's a fight. Keep going. You know what I mean? So
True that. I like it.
It was hard to make up my mind, but those are the things that I'd like to see changed.
I like that. And one thing that I'm wondering is because I watch a lot of football, and after every season, all the owners get together and they have these owner meetings where they try to come up with things that they didn't like that happened, and they come up with problems. Like, hey, remember in week 7 when the Chiefs played the Giants and blah, blah, blah. And they talk about a rule that affected the outcome of that game big time. They're like, hey, we can't let that happen anymore. How can we fix it? And that whole meeting, and it's not just one day, it's like days. So they take a few days and they come up with these rules that they want to dissect and break down. And they try to come up with solutions on how they can resolve those issues. I think that's freaking awesome. I know baseball does that. I'm sure basketball does that. But I know for a fact NFL does that. Why doesn't MMA do that? Or why doesn't UFC do that? You know, we don't have unified rules. So I'm sure this would be like a case-by-case basis. Each organization would just be doing this all on their own. But hey, whatever.
Right.
All right. Well, speaking of leagues. Oh, wait. I'm going the wrong way. All right. UFC talk, more shit talk, Fonzo. You know I love talking shit about the UFC, even though I love it. Love you, UFC. No hard feelings. But I saw this and I thought this was an interesting post. This came up on my I saw this on the subreddit on MMA, or a subreddit thread on MMA on Reddit, and an anonymous UFC fighter stated, and actually this was up on Twitter, but then he deleted the tweet. It's crazy. That's neither here nor there, Fonzo.
Neither here nor there, boy.
So that fighter stated that the UFC no longer gives its fighters complimentary tickets for their friends and family. Not only are they making hand over fist cash, not only are they not raising the fighter pay, but they don't even give them free tickets no more. Nah, bro, you can't get that $75 ticket. Use your $12K that you're using to fight and buy yourself some tickets.
Dude, I wonder what the thought process behind that was. Like, what was what was the rationale? You know what I mean? That like, oh, you know what? We're just not gonna do it. Like, it's too expensive. Like what?
Boss,
You're making tons
I
of
know
money.
how we can save $2,700 every card. Every card. Did you say $2,700? That's right. $2,700 cold hard cash back in your pocket, Mr. White. How can we do this? We cut out tickets for fighters. Dude, that's cold game. I looked this up. I was wondering, what do other professional leagues do? NFL gives their players, 15 tickets a game.
That's a grip, man.
That's a grip. And they have almost like 100 players on a team.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Plus, you got two teams playing in one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
NBA provides its players with 4 tickets for every home game and 2 tickets to every away game. And MLB, that's baseball, gives their players 4 free tickets per game, and they allow them to purchase 2 more at a discounted rate of 40% off. So, yeah, just wanted to share that with everybody out there. I'm with Fonzo. I think that's kind of messed up. Just give them 2 free tickets, man. What's the big deal? Speaking of free tickets, can we get free tickets to this Boston show? Dude, do you think that this might be the new headliner or the main event?
Oh, man.
So what we're talking about right now, everyone out there listening, a rumor was dropped, and it hasn't been announced, but I think it's only been verbally agreed upon. And that's number 7, Rob Font, taking on number 8, Song Yadong, talking about fighting August 19th in Boston. What do you think about this, dude? You think this will be a good fight or not?
Dude, this is going to be a great fight. This is going to be a banger.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Like,
it's definitely headline material.
I almost feel bad that both of these guys have so much steam built up behind them, but one of them,
yeah, dude,
right? Like,
yeah. I would have loved to see this fight if they were both like in the top 5,
a little bit higher. I like to see their stocks rise a little bit more. Maybe once they both get closer to number 5. I mean, they're knocking on the door. Whoever wins this fight probably will get bounced up.
If it's the banger that we both think it is, no matter win or lose, dude, both of these motherfuckers can move up a little bit.
You know
what I mean?
Dude.
Like if they put on fights, it could just be fireworks. It'd be like Forrest Griffin, freaking Stephen Bonner.
Yeah, you're right, man.
You know what I mean?
No matter what, dude, we win because this is a fight that we want to see. So Sean Shelby, UFC, Dana White, thank you. Even though we just pooped on you with the slide before. All right. Speaking of poop, Tough 31 ratings, came out, and it is not looking too good, dude.
Nope.
It's not looking too good. So I don't know how they do this.
I think I know what's to blame.
All right, go. What is it?
McGregor's haircut. Look at that fool.
Well, that's why he went to the house and got faded up. So maybe episode 2 ratings are going to jump up a little bit.
I think that was it, man.
So that's all right. That's your hypothesis. We're going to test it out after ratings for episode 2 come out. So what apparently after episode 1, the average viewership on ESPN topped out at 294,000. I'm like, hey, that's sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
But season 22 of Ultimate Fighter with Conor and Uriah Faber, episode 1 peaked at 622,000. So that's double the viewership. And it was on Fox Sports 1, dude.
Yeah.
So I think there's a handful of things that are at play. You know what I mean? Maybe there's just the market's oversaturated with UFC right now. And it wasn't when Ultimate Fighter season 22 was out. You know, we were still hungry for any UFC we can get. It didn't even matter. Now you watch every weekend, there's a UFC card. You turn on ESPN and they're showing flashback fights or a countdown show or replaying a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? It's on all the time.
Yeah.
Plus, there's hockey playoffs right now. There's basketball playoffs. I know it's not going head to head, but hey, people might have recorded it and they're watching it at a later time. They're just doing other things right now. It's just a lot of UFC too much, too soon, maybe, or not too soon, but just all the time, and people getting kind of tired of it.
No, it's a haircut, dog.
All right, we'll see. You're always right. You're always right.
No, don't trust China. China is.
All right. So episode 2, Ultimate Fighter. Did you catch episode 2, dog?
Dude, no.
No.
I can't. Yeah. He needs that haircut.
That's how upset you were. You're like, I'm not even gonna watch until he gets a haircut.
You gotta get a haircut.
As you can see, one of his fighters, Mondo Gutierrez, I think is the guy's name, ended up fading him up. So he did come to the house. He got a haircut. Let me break down the episode for you. So the episode starts off with a fight. I was like, oh shoot, they're gonna give us 2 fights in one episode. Hell yeah, let's go. Wrong. Wrong. What ended up happening? So I don't know if you can see this picture in the bottom left-hand corner, Fonzo. It's Michael Chandler talking to his fighter.
Yeah.
That was the guy that was supposed to fight. Michael Chandler. Shit. That guy, he's ready to go, dude. They were getting their hands wrapped and everything. And like a couple hours before they're going to fight, the commission comes in and they're like, hey, Conor's fighter cannot fight because he broke out with
herpes.
Herpes, yeah. He came out with a cold sore.
Fuck.
So he can't. They had to cancel the fight.
That's for licking booty holes.
Who knows what he was doing, dude? But that fight got canceled. They are rescheduling it. I'm not sure if he's gonna have to make weight again. They're talking about a possible catch weight. So that's how the episode started. But the fighter took the news pretty good, so he's pretty positive, and he knows he's gonna get his chance to fight sooner or later. And then the episode continued. And your boy Roosevelt Roberts, who won in like 8 seconds in episode 1, got into a little heated conversation with one of the prospects. I think the guy's name is Landon Quinones, and that's the guy in the turquoise tank top in the kitchen. Yeah. And he was just chirping, dude, just being young, dumb, saying how there's nobody in the house that's going to have anything for him. He's going to beat everybody. And Roosevelt didn't like that. He was like, hey, we don't need to be in a cage. We can do this right now. And he challenged him to a fight in the kitchen.
Shit.
And Tim Elliott back there, poor guy, just trying to make his chicken stir fry. He actually at one point is like grabs Landon. He's like, hey, man, I'm trying to make my food. Like, take this out of here. So nothing ended up happening. It ended up ending. We did have this fight, though, and it was Mondo Gutierrez, Team Conor, taking on, I forgot this guy's name. Let me see. Do I have it here? Yep, Cody Gibson. So watch this, dude. I got this. Yep, right here.
Oh shit!
Let me rewind. This is Mondo Gutierrez.
Hell of a knee.
Gibson, round 1 finish.
Oh!
Move, fighter!
Ooh!
Watch your back of your head! Move, fighter! Move!
Damn!
Yeah, so what was that? Like a switch knee?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was like a switch knee.
So caught him with that switch knee, and took his lights out, dog.
Dude, that was right on the chin.
Yeah, it was, man.
It sounded like a baseball bat.
Perfectly placed. Dropped Mondo with the switch knee, and then he just proceeded to ground and pound him until the ref pulled him off. So Cody moves on to round 2 of the tournament, and now Chandler's team is up 2 wins to none. Dude, prospects are down 0 for 2. with 2 first-round finishes.
Damn.
So maybe they should have switched this up. Maybe they should have had prospects fight prospects and veterans fight veterans. I don't know. This is an ass whooping.
Yeah.
All right. Next story, dude. Sticking with the Pride theme. It is Pride Month, Pride Fighting Championships Month. We know Pride never dies deep in our hearts. SureDog, one of the greatest MMA sites ever, put together this top 10 list. And we're going to go through, and then me and Fonzo added some of our own. So let's check out what they got, Fonzo. Fight, and we're not going to watch every fight. We'll just talk a little bit about this. But this was their number 10 fight. Takanori Gomi, Tatsuya Kawajiri. Kawajiri was one of my favorite fighters, dude. He always had good fights. He either got knocked out or he knocked somebody out, but he always brought it. And this fight was one of Gomi's good ones, dude, before he fizzled out. So that's their number 10 fight.
Dude, that was great.
It was a good fight.
Yeah.
Number 9, Fedor Emelianenko, Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. 3. These guys fought 3 times, and it was an ass whooping every single time, dude. Poor Nogueira, man. Just took a beat down for no reason. Actually, not for no reason, but. So that's the number 8. That was the number 9. The number 8 fight on SureDog's list is Royce Gracie in the marathon fight against Kazushi Sakuraba. I don't know if this was Sakuraba's like first or second fight against Gracie, but a little bit after this, they nicknamed him the Gracie Hunter, I believe, right?
I don't recall this fight at all.
Dude, it was so long.
It's
like they fought for like an hour or some crap.
Yeah, I don't remember this one at all.
Yeah, it was a long one, bro. It's a long one. Number 7, Kazushi Sakuraba taking on Carlos Newton. The Ronin, that was a good one. Dude, how about this one?
Dude, that one was crazy. That's when they just started like wailing, like it was fucking Bob Sock and robots and shit.
It's like a cartoon. Let's watch a little bit of this one. Don Fry taking on Yoshihiro Takayama. This is that famous fight where they were just like in the turnbuckles, taking turns, dropping shots.
Dude, I remember watching this. I was like, what is this? Like
this is this real life right now?
Yeah, like this can't be a real fight.
Let me get to the.
It almost seemed like a WWE fight, but more realistic. It was.
My gosh!
It was towards the beginning. There you go.
There it is, right here. It's just boom, boom, boom. Look at this.
There it is. Yeah.
You know what this is like? This is like those lumberjack matches that WWF used to have back in the day.
Yeah,
where they would tie you up, and you're like, "Hey, you cannot escape your opponent. You just got to fight him." You know what I mean? This was an ass whooping and a half. No skill, no technical game plan. Just rock 'em, sock 'em, robots. Let's go. Number 5 on SureDog's list. This is a good one. Nick Diaz taking on Takanori Gomi. This is Pride Fighting Championships intro to the United States. No,
I think so.
I think this was their first and only show in the United States. But that was the one, if you guys remember, Nick Diaz ended finishing this one with a Gogo Plata, no?
Yeah.
Number 4, Mauricio Shogun Hua taking on Antonio Rogerio Nogueira. This was kind of just like a changing of the guard, dude. It's just a bad time for anybody not named Shogun. Yeah. Right? Number 2, dude. This was a good one. Crow Cop and Nogueira. Dude, Nogueira's like in all of these fights. So this was an ass whooping too. And this was a tie. There were 2 number 2s for them.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Vanderlei, Quentin, Rampage Jackson.
Tell everybody what you remember about this one, Fonzo, because I can't talk about it.
Dude, it was fucking demolition, man. It was beautiful, man. Because back in the day, I was a big fan of Shooter Box. So, you know what I mean? It was beautiful to see Quentin hanging off the ropes, fucking just out after those fucking knees. Can you play that really quick?
Sure. Let's see.
Let's watch this. Let's watch this one more time. Relive the old The golden age of Pride.
Vanderlei Silva is known as one of the toughest, most aggressive fighters in the world.
145 remaining round 2, and Jackson walks into a right hand, and he's stunned. He's
Bam! Damn.
reminiscent of the middleweight tournament.
Oh,
There you go.
Dude, that plum. Yeah, that was bad, dude. He just had that Muay Thai plum, and he was just pulling him into those knees. So look at that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, and then he just left him in the ropes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So let's see what their number one Pride fight, their number one famous, greatest Pride fight ever, according to SureDog, Fedor Emelianenko, Mirko Cro Cop, Final Conflict, 2005. This was just another ass whooping for Fedor, dude. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah.
But let's look at my list.
All right, go ahead.
I got 3 for us here. And as much of a fan as I am of Quentin, dude, this was a coming out party for Shogun. This is Shogun Rampage Jackson, Pride Total Elimination. I think this was the light heavyweight Grand Prix round 1. So everyone thought that Rampage was going to come out storming and challenge Vanderlei for the strap and going to change the game, you know. But Shogun had other plans, you know.
Yeah.
He's just super young. Like Fonzo was saying, he was out of that shooter box camp. Just a bunch of killers. Vanderlei Silva. What was his brother's name? His brother was a badass too. Ninja. Mauricio.
No. Well, this is Mauricio.
No, that
Sorry.
was Mauricio.
Yeah. Shit. I just remember Ninja. I can't remember his first name.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But dude, this was almost like
That's the bottom line. He's going for it.
this was almost like Vanderlei Silva and Rampage. Because look,
Yeah.
knees again.
Yeah.
Same thing. Look,
Yep.
soccer kick.
Soccer kick. Yeah.
Just a destruction derby, dude. Just knee after knee. I think he gets in with some more soccer kicks before the ref pulls him off.
Yeah. He never solved that tie clinch issue, man. He had the same. He had the same issue with
Well, because he would get in it and he would slam his way out of it, but he was so gassed in this match, you know, he just couldn't. So that's one of my all-time favorite Pride matches. How about this one, bro? This one might be my all-time favorite Pride fight.
I was when you asked me to share mine. This was a second close one. This was a beautiful freaking moment, man.
Right?
Love
This is
watching
Rampage Jackson, Ricardo Arona. Rampage gets triangled, and Arona thinks he's okay. Let's just watch it one time real quick. Here we go. So here's Arona locking the triangle in. He thinks he's safe.
Oh!
Rampage says, nah, chale, hold my beer, bro. You're going for a ride. Slammed him into the canvas, dude.
Yeah.
That is insane.
What ended up knocking him out, though, was his head bounced off the canvas and then hit Rampage's forehead. Knocked him out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this one is more nostalgia for me because this was the next one I'm talking about. My next fight on my list is Pride FC Return of the Warriors. This is way back, one of the earlier shows. Pride 10, Return of the Warriors, Kazushi Sakuraba taking on Renzo Gracie. Renzo trying to enact revenge for his family, but it did not go well, dude. I want to forward to the very end and show you what ends up happening, dude. So Renzo ends up almost taking Sakuraba's back, but Sakuraba gets a Kimura grip on Renzo's arm. Check this shit out.
Oh, shit.
Look at his elbow, bro.
Yeah,
it's already out.
yeah.
It's already spun out. And
Yeah.
Renzo does not tap. Oh, it was so disgusting.
That looks dislocated completely.
It is.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm telling you, dude.
Oh,
That's one
man.
of the worst things I've ever seen happen. And he does not wink in pain, not 1 second, dude.
I didn't.
He looks like he's just going out for a walk in the park. That's disgusting, dude. All right, let's put another memory in our mind. If you did not watch that fight, Go watch it if you can stomach that kind of stuff.
Oh
Pride,
man.
Pride 10, Return of the Warriors, Kazushi Sakuraba, Henzo Gracie. I think I got the DVD in the garage somewhere, bro. If you want to watch it, let me know.
Can you explain what a DVD is to all of our younger fans, listeners out there?
DVDs are a form of media that existed in the early 2000s. People would put pictures, documents, videos on.
Started in the late 1900s, actually.
Oh yeah, late 1900s. I'm sorry, but by the early 2000s, it was obsolete. So yeah. All right, next fight, dude. This one's more like one of Pride. Pride is super famous for their freak show fights. No.
Yeah.
And this was one of them, dude. Like usually their freak show fights include like a giant monster taking on like a normal fighter, like an actor or something, like something stupid, dude. It's like the Japanese audience wants to sacrifice you to the dragon. So yeah. In this case, it was Antonio Minotauro Nogueira taking on Bob the Beast Sapp. Dude, Bob Sapp weighed like 400 pounds or some crap when they fought. I don't know what Nogueira weighed at. Because he fought at light heavyweight, dude.
So he's probably
he's
like 220 maybe at
maybe
most.
220. And Bob Sapp is like
Yeah.
over 300 pounds. No way that he wasn't. You know what I mean?
I would say 350, dude. He's a beast.
Oh, and he was roided the heck out. So check this out. Look at this. And look at how it starts. Look at he shoots in for a takedown. Bob Sapp says, I got you. Power
bomb. Dude, and he's raining bombs there.
I know. But look.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I remember this.
Look at what he does, dude.
Yep.
Somehow he peeks out the back door, rolls him over.
That's what technique does, man.
Starts raining shots. Look, a little ground and pound.
Bob Sapp doesn't he's done. Yeah, he doesn't know what to do.
Look at that. He just gives that arm up like a baby giving up a lollipop.
Yeah.
To Cousin Ant.
Yeah.
Cousin Ant's like, fuck your lollipop. My bitch. Look at that, dude.
Yeah.
Monster. So you had a fight for us too, right, Fonzo?
I do, man. I did.
All right, so let me share that. Let me get out of here. Let me stop sharing, and then I'll share again.
So just before you play it, so this fight, man, I thought about all the greats, but I remember this one fight just kind of for me made all the difference in just pride and everything, because they had that whole open weight with the open weight Grand Prix, right? With I think Ricardo Arona at this time was probably one of the favorites to win that whole tournament. So this fight here that I picked was just when Shogun beat him here, it just cemented fucking Shogun being a beast that he was, and he continued to be after this. But this is a great fight, man. And then the ending to it is just badass.
So Ricardo Arona, Shogun Hua, was this one of Shogun's first fights?
I think this is after his no, it was after he beat Rampage.
Oh, after the GP. Yes.
Yeah.
It was. Look, it even says final round in the GP.
Yeah.
Look at this finish, bro.
Because Arona had beat Vanderlei already.
Oh, that's right. So this was like revenge.
Yeah.
That's right. They show the replay here real quick. Dude, that was killer, bro. Mega upset. But not only did he beat him, dude, he
beat the shit out of him. Yeah.
Literally. He probably pooped his pants. All right, so let's finish up our show here. All right, so last week I forgot to mention something. I told you guys July 29th was going to be Off the Hook, and then I left you guys hanging. Well, here we are. 1 week later, sorry, but July 29th is going to be like Fight Armageddon, bro. You're going to have 3 TVs, with 3 ways to get on pay-per-view because you're going to have UFC 291 Poirier-Gaethje Part 2 for the BMF strap. Blachowicz, Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira's first fight at light heavyweight. You're going to have Ryzen versus Bellator Part 2. And we're going to have some boxing. Earl Spence Jr. taking on Terrence Crawford. Dude, another banger of a fight. It's going to be so good. Mark your calendars. It's going to be an awesome summer night. Barbecue, whatever you want. But again, you can have your choice of what to watch. And you're probably going to have to pick, dude. Or there's no way you're going to be able to watch all 3 of these unless you have 3 TVs. You know? Or you're going to be switching. You're going to
nobody has 3 TVs.
Not in this house.
Nope.
Not in one room. Yet. All right. So mark your calendars. Get your planners ready. Tell everybody you don't have time to hang out July 29th. Dude, last night, UFC 289 main event. Amanda Nunes, Irene Aldana, co-main event. Beneil Dariush, Charlie Olives. What did you think of last night's show, dog?
All in all, the show was good. I didn't watch any of the prelims. I watched just the main card, but the main card has some good fights, man. I was impressed by some of the actually most of the fighters. Dude, the co-main and the main event, though. I mean, yeah, dude, I was impressed by fucking Charlie Olives.
Let's talk first. Let me talk about one fight on the prelims. You know,
okay.
Nasruddin Imavov was taking on Chris Curtis. Dude, do you remember Chris Curtis's last fight? He fought Kelvin Gastelum. You remember how it ended? How did it end?
Shit. How did it end? Damn it.
It was I think. Oh no, I'm sorry. He lost. But do you remember how he was kind of winning the fight, and then he was in the second round. They clashed heads. Remember?
Oh yeah.
They clashed heads, and then after that, he was like, he wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Well, in this fight, Imavov was piecing up Curtis, I feel. And in the second round, dude, guess what happened again?
Clash heads.
They clashed heads, but this time the ref saw it and they stopped it. So it ended up, they stopped the fight. It was a no contest, but that might have been best case scenario for Curtis because he was not looking good, dude.
So do you think maybe what caused it, the clash of heads? Is it like maybe Curtis like leading with his head?
It looked like Nasruddin was coming in leaning with his head. It was a total accident. It was a total accident, just a freak thing. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, dude, I feel for Curtis because this is 2 times in a row, but at least this time they saw it, you know?
Yeah.
So it must be super frustrating for him. But yeah, what a way to end a fight. I only wanted to, before we get to co-main and main event, did you see Dan Ige taking on Nate?
Yep.
Landwehr, bro. What did you think?
Ige fucking whooped that ass, man.
That's basically what
was
I
an
thought
ass
was going to
whooping.
happen. Yeah. And I kind of feel like that's going to be Bobby Knuckles and Dricus Duplessis in a couple of weeks, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
I think because it was just like skill and technique versus big balls and no brain. You know, balls to the wall, you know, letting it all hang out there is good. But once you get to the cream of the crop, you know, you're going to get to a point where other people have that too, but they got skill, and that's what happened here.
It was entertaining, but you know what I mean? It just allowed Dan Ige to put on a masterclass of why he's so good.
He was getting pieced up too, dude. He was taking a lot of damage, but yeah, he definitely was in charge of that dance.
Yeah. I mean, he was just walking. I mean, he was taking punches to do 3 or 4. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
That's what ended up happening.
Taking one to land 3 or 4 for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk, dude. Let's get into this co-main and main then, bro.
All right.
Co-main event: Charles Oliveira taking on Beneil Dariush. Everyone, including myself, thought that this should be Benny and Islam for the strap, right? Just because he's been on such a tear. But you can't ignore Charlie Olives. I mean, we talked about his resume last week on this show, and when we compared the 2 resumes, dude, I kind of was like, holy shit, I didn't really realize Charlie Olives is that dude.
Right. Dude, they put up his resume up like before his fight, man. It was crazy. He's got the most most
submissions.
4th most wins in that division history. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude. And dude, what did you if you haven't watched it already, here's the results. Charlie Olives ended up finished Benny in what round was that? First
First round.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was so hard to watch Benny get trashed and pieced up like that. I thought it was the second round. That's how long I thought the round lasted.
Well, they were on the ground for a little while. They were trying, you know what I mean? It was they played some ground game, but yeah, dude, he was getting his ass whooped.
Benny had nothing for him on the feet, nothing for him on the ground. It's just everywhere it went was bad. And I don't know who I heard. I think it might have been Luke Thomas talking about how once Charlie gets going like that, he's so hard to stop. He talked about it. He referred to it as like him running downhill. Once he gains momentum, dude, he don't stop. And watching him last night, dude, reminded me of like, I used to watch a lot of basketball back in the day, you know, a lot of Jordan and whatnot. And when Jordan would just go off, dude, they would always talk about him being in the zone. You remember that?
Right. Yeah.
Where Jordan would be like, oh, the bucket's this big. You know, I just can't miss. When you're in the zone, you just feel like you can't do no wrong. And that's what it looked like. Charlie was like, I'm just going to stand in the pocket. Boop, boop, boop. I'm just going to let him take me down. Sweep, elbows from the ground, throwing up submissions, you know? And it didn't matter where the fight went. He just looked like
he was flowing, dude.
Cucumber.
He was flowing.
Like he was chilling in the hot tub, throwing things out, and everything worked in his favor. So unfortunately, it was not Benny's night. He's going to have to climb that mountain one more time. But dude, title shot for Charlie or what?
Hell yeah,
it has to be, right?
I think they already announced it.
Oh, did they? Oh, shoot.
I thought they did. I thought that was I think it was a done deal. Well, not of course it's not. I don't think it was I don't think it's signed, obviously, but they did. Dana White did allude that was going to happen next. I mean, there's no other, but there's nobody else.
No, there's nothing else that we would rather see. And I wonder. Like, do you think that this time around, the second time around, will be different against Islam? Dude, do you think he'll give him more trouble? Do you think it'll be the same?
Man. No, I don't think it'll be the same. I think Charlie understands what he's going up against now. He's felt what he's got, make some adjustments. I mean, he might not beat him. But it'll definitely be a more competitive fight. He'll give him a lot more trouble.
I think it's going to be interesting to see because both of these guys are going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. Like they're both thinking they can beat the other guy. Like Charlie's going to be like, dude, I just beat the shit out of the number one guy who everyone thought was going to beat my ass. And I finished him. Nobody's finished Benny. He finished him. You know, Islam's like, dude, you just beat the number one guy and I finished you. So what does that make me?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. So they're going to have to settle it in the cage one more time.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Settling it in the cage one more time. Fonzo, that's neither here nor there, dog. Amanda Nunes taking on Irene Aldana for the women's bantamweight strap.
Man.
Oh, dude.
This is a letdown, man. This is a heartbreak.
Well, good news is you're not going to have to see it anymore because Amanda retired. So,
but that sucks too, man. That sucks too.
Dude, she just totally dominated that fight.
Yeah.
You know,
it wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't. Like, do you think that Irene was a little like maybe intimidated? Because in the first round, she barely threw anything. I think she might have thrown like 5 punches.
Yeah, no. I think so, man. I think it got to her. Maybe just the pressure, the moment, the nerves. Like, I don't know. I don't know what was going on in her head, obviously, but it just seemed that way. Like she had a hard time letting her hands go. It wasn't until like maybe the third, fourth round where she started picking up the pace, but by then it was too late. You know what I mean? She had already been pieced up this whole time. You know, I think if she would have done that from the beginning, it would have been more competitive. I still don't think she would have been able to make a difference. Like she did land that big ass fucking right hook
in the first round.
I think was it first or second? Yeah. I can't remember for first and second.
Yeah, I think it was the first.
So
one of those 5 shots.
Right. So here's the deal, man. You know she has the power.
Yeah.
She has the power. She has the technique. She just
she was taking shots, dude. She wasn't dropped.
No. You could, and that's the thing that was so disappointing. It's like you're taking her biggest shots and you're not being put away. What does that tell you? That means you can take 1 or 2 to do 3 or 4. You can
Yeah.
take those punches and move forward. I mean, I'm not a fighter. I'm not facing Amanda Nunes. I don't know what that's like. That shit's probably scary as fuck.
Go
right?
run into a Toyota Corolla at 35 miles an hour. It's probably the same thing, dude.
Yeah, you're right. But you know what I mean? Like her corner, man. Her corner kept on telling her, like, you got to turn it
Yeah.
on, dude. You got
Yeah.
to turn it on.
Yeah, and dude,
So-
check out the judges' scorecards. 50-44.
Yeah.
50-44. So both of those two judges gave Amanda 110-8 somewhere. And then the third judge scored it 50-43. So that means one of the judges gave Amanda two 10-8 rounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, so then the fight ended, and oh man, I forgot to show these, but hey, there they are. The fight ends, and Amanda puts both of her belts down onto the mat and announces what, Fonzo?
Retirement.
She's done. She is done. So she's apparently gonna ride off into the sunset. She bought a ranch in Brazil. She wants to spend time with her family. I think her wife is about to be expecting another child soon. So yeah, she's done. And one of the only reasons she continued to fighting, this last week, this quote came out. Did you read this, dude?
No.
They were asking her, why didn't she retire when after she lost to Juliana? And she was like, I decided to not retire because if I retire, I leave my belt with Juliana. No way, no way. He can be with somebody else, but with Juliana, no. And I know I can kick her ass anytime I want. And she did, dude. She came back and she beat the snot out of her, and she got her belt back. And then she fought Irene last night, and she beat the snot out of her. And then she retired. And then as soon as she retired, Juliana Peña gets on Twitter and is like, I scared you so bad into retirement. Personally, congratulations. Professionally, what the fuck was that? Professionally, dude, that's not even in her vocabulary. She doesn't even know what that word means. What a clown, dude.
I don't know, man, but here's the deal, man. I would have loved to see that fight one more time. Like I know she came back and whooped that ass. Like it was pretty freaking decisive. But I mean, like, you can't discount the first time they met, man. You can't.
No, for sure. For sure you can't discount that. But going into that fight, she did have a busted knee. She did open up her own gym. She was going through all kinds of other stuff. So for sure, she was not totally prepared for that fight. For sure, she probably should have postponed that fight, rescheduled it, but she didn't because she, rumors were that she was scared of Dana, and she didn't want to cancel the fight for fear of how he would have retaliated against her. So she took the fight. She lost. She knows she lost fair and square. Juliana, how did she lose that one? Was it TKO?
Yeah, TKO.
I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Amanda came back, and Amanda didn't finish her, but she beat every round was like a 10-7 round.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's just, I mean, I don't think it would be any different, but I mean, there's always, like you said, with this sport, man, there's always a freaking chance, and Juliana definitely has that chance. We saw it. So I would have loved to have seen that rubber match. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Juliana's tweet is freaking bullshit, because it is, but yeah, I would have loved to have seen that.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe she should have said, like, I would have loved to have had another crack at you, but congratulations. That way you don't sound salty, and at the same time you're sounding a little humble, but you're also keeping your name in the mix.
Yeah, because there's no way she's scared of fighting her.
No, definitely not. Definitely not, for sure. So, all right, dude. Well, that was the last news story of the day. I want everyone out there listening to continue to celebrate Pride Month, Pride Fighting Championship Month. We'll be posting videos. Maybe I'll post a link to our favorite Pride Fighting Championship knockout video on YouTube, my mans.
All right.
Get some more views on that. Let us know what your favorite Pride Fighting Championship moment was. Maybe fights, moment, favorite fighter. Let's keep this Pride talk all month long. Fonzo, any closing comments, my man?
Oh, man, it was good talking about all these, going back on memory lane, reminiscing about the good old Pride Month, Pride Championship fights. So, yeah, can't wait to get on the next episode.
All right. Well, for those of you listening for the first time, or you listening to us this entire time, don't forget to check us out. Visit our website, chingasoscombatcrew.com. Find us on our YouTube page at C_Combat Crew. Also on IG, same thing, at C_Combat Crew. Until next week, Chingasos Crew out. All right, dude. Done.
Sweet. What are you doing right now, fool?
Just gonna start editing this. Check out Dexter. See how he's doing.
Do you have time later to get on Red Dead?